1. More Indian birds enter list of threatened species. This topic is important under General Studies Paper 3. Biodiversity and Conservation. Why recently in news? The Red List of birds released by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, for 2015 shows that a total of 180 bird species in India are now threatened, as against 173 last year. Only one species has moved out of the Red List. The latest additions to the list, which are based on studies conducted by Bombay Natural History Society, BNHS India, BirdLife International, UK-based, and other partner organizations, reveal that bird habitats like grasslands and wetlands are under threat. About the IUCN Red List 2015. Of the newer additions, 5 have been uplisted from the least concern to the near threatened category, a sign of increased threat. These include northern lapwing, a grassland bird, and 4 wetland birds, namely red-knot, curlew sandpiper, Eurasian oystercatcher and bar-tailed godwit. 2 other wetland birds, horngrebe and common pockard, have been uplisted from least concern to vulnerable. Steppe eagle, a raptor from grasslands, which is a regular winter visitor to the Indian subcontinent, has been uplisted from least concern to endangered. Destruction of grasslands, wetlands, forests and other habitats is considered the most common reason for this development. Apart from habitat loss, the other reason for decline of birds like steppe eagle, which mostly scavenges on animal carcasses, is the use of veterinary drug diclofenac used to treat livestock. This drug causes renal failure in these birds. 3 vulture species, namely white-backed, slender-billed and long-billed, have also been severely affected by diclofenac. IUCN. IUCN was founded in October 1948 as the International Union for the Protection of Nature, or IUPN, following an international conference in Fontainebleau, France. It was renamed as International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources in 1956 with the acronym IUCN. It is the world's first global environmental organization. Today it is the largest professional global conservation network. The Union's HQ is located in Gland, near Geneva, in Switzerland. It demonstrates how biodiversity is fundamental to addressing some of the world's greatest challenges such as climate change, sustainable development, and food security. Red List. The Red List is set upon precise criteria to evaluate the extinction risk of thousands of species and subspecies. These criteria are relevant to all species and all regions of the world. The aim is to convey the urgency of conservation issues to the public and policy makers, as well as help the international community to try to reduce species extinction. Species are classified by the Red List into 9 groups, set through criteria such as rate of decline, population size, area of geographic distribution, and degree of population and distribution fragmentation. 2. Pelicans face disappointment. This topic is important under General Studies Paper 3. Biodiversity and Conservation. Why recently in news? With the poor monsoon this year failing to replenish the Kolleru Lake, pelican birds will find the sanctuary less welcome than last year. Thousands of pelicans visit Kolariu Wildlife Sanctuary every year for the annual breeding season. In a bid to help these birds, forest officials are pumping water from the Polraj tree into the lake to raise water levels up to 1 meter as against the required average level of 3 to 4 meters. On the other hand, the fish population in the pond is down to near zero. Most of the fish in the pond were caught in the summer when the water dried up completely. This will also directly impact the breeding of the pelicans. Kolariu Lake. Kolariu Lake is one of the largest freshwater lakes in the country. It is located between Krishna and Godavari Delta. It was declared as a wildlife sanctuary in 1999. It is a Ramsar site. It is also listed as an important bird area. Important avifauna of the lake include a variety of waterfowls, ducks, teals, storks, egrets, herons, ibises, bitterns, cormorants and a number of waders. As many as 224 species of birds have been from in and around the lake. Grey pelicans in the area. The lake is known to amateur birdwatchers and professional ornithologists as a pelicaneria location where the grey pelicans, a large magnificent bird, nest and breed. Grey pelicans had vanished from the lake in 1973 for nearly 35 years and returned to it to nest again in December 2006. The grey pelican, also called the spot-billed pelican, is listed in Schedule I of the Wildlife Protection Act and in the Red Data Book. It is also considered a globally threatened species under the vulnerable category. The grey pelican returned to the lake only after Operation Kolariu, in which the fish tanks were destroyed, implementing a Supreme Court order. 3. New tariff policy to support Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. This topic is important under General Studies Paper 2. Government Policies and Schemes. Why recently in news? Government will make it compulsory for power plants located within the radius of 100 kilometers of the city to use processed wastewater and release clean water for drinking purpose in the vicinity. New policy will make it compulsory for the local power distribution companies to buy electricity generated from the waste. These measures will give a push to government's Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. 4. India's APEC membership not on the agenda, says US. This topic is important under General Studies Paper 2. Bilateral, regional and global groupings and agreements involving India and/or affecting India's interests. Why recently in news? The US has said that India's desire for membership is not on the agenda of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, a PEC, forum meeting which will be held in Manila in Philippines this month. During his recent visit to India, the US President Obama had supported India's desire for membership. However, officials of the APEC say that President Obama had so far only welcomed India's interest in joining the APEC. India has been an observer at the forum since 2011. APEC. The Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, a PEC, is a regional economic forum established in 1989 to leverage the growing interdependence of the Asia-Pacific. APEC has 21 members. Aim: to create greater prosperity for the people of the region by promoting balanced, inclusive, sustainable, innovative and secure growth and by accelerating regional economic integration. Functions. APEC works to help all residents of the Asia-Pacific participate in the growing economy. APEC projects provide digital skills training for rural communities and help indigenous women export their products abroad. Recognizing the impacts of climate change, APEC members also implement initiatives to increase energy efficiency and promote sustainable management of forest and marine resources. The forum adapts to allow members to deal with important new challenges to the region's economic well-being. This includes ensuring disaster resilience, planning for pandemics, and addressing terrorism. In APEC, all economies have an equal say and decision-making is reached by consensus. There are no binding commitments or treaty obligations. Commitments are undertaken on a voluntary basis and capacity-building projects help members implement APEC initiatives. The APEC process is supported by a permanent secretariat based in Singapore.